So, good day everyone. So, our topic is classification and distinction. So, first is classification of taxes. So, meron tayong anim dyan. First is as to subject matter or subject. A is personal, pool, capitation. So, tax of a fixed amount imposed on persons residing within a specific territory, whether citizens or not, without regard to their property or the occupation or business in which they may be engaged. Taxes of a specific amount imposed upon each person performing a certain act or engaging in certain business or profession are not, however, full tax. So, when we say subject matter or subject, ano nga ba ano yung tinatax? Kaya nga subject matter or object yung gusto mong tax. So, basically, we have three kinds of it. We have the personal, pool, or capitation. Iisa lang ang ibig sabihin niya. Yun yung first. So, ang tinatax mo dito is yung mismong tao. Hindi na importante yung kanyang property or kinatatayuan sa buhay. Ang tinatax mo ay siya bilang tao or bilang isang Pilipino. So, common example talaga niyan is yung community tax or cedula. Dahil binigyan ka ng karapatan na manirahan sa isang community, ikaw na mismo na tao magbayad ka ng cedula at hindi mahalaga kung ikaw ay mahirap o mayaman. Anong work mo? Basta magbayad ka ng cedula. So, community tax, personal yun. Yun yung tinatax mismo, yun ang object or taxation, yung person. So, the second of as to subject matter or subject is the property. So, tax imposed on property, whether real or personal, in proportion either to its value or in accordance with some other reasonable methods of apportionment. The obligation to pay the tax is absolute and unavoidable, and it's not based upon the voluntary action of the person assessed. So, example is yung real estate tax. So, ang tinatax naman dito is natural, yung ari-arian, yung property mismo. So, example ako, 3 yung property ko or lupa ko, ilang beses din ako magbabayad ng real property tax ko. Natural, hindi ako yung tinatax, hindi yung sarili ko, kundi yung property ko. So, therefore, 3 beses kasi, 3 ang property ko. Pag marami ang property, marami din ang babayaran mong taxes. So, basically, ang tinatax is yung property. So, yung real estate or property tax is collected by munisipyo, city hall, or kapitolyo. The third one is excise. Any tax which does not fall within the classification of full tax or a property tax. Thus, it is said that an excise tax is a change or charge imposed upon the performance of an act, the enjoyment of a privilege, or the engaging in an occupation, profession, or business. So, the obligation to pay this tax is based on the voluntary action of the person tax performing the act or engaging in the activity which is subject to the excise. So when we say excise in this context, it means the act or the privilege, enjoyment of an act. Kaya nga, may nagagawa ka. Dahil nagkakaroon ka ng privilege, katulad ng kakayanan na kumita, kakayanan na mag-business, or so babayaran mo daw yon. So, ang tinatax dito hindi yung tao, hindi yung property, but rather yung act, yung privilege. So, dito pumapasok yung income tax, yung business tax, at kung ano-ano pa. Second one of classification of taxes, as to who bears the burden. So, meron tayong direct and indirect. So, first is the direct tax, which is demanded from the person who also shoulders the burden of the tax, or tax for which the taxpayer is directly or primarily liable, or which he cannot shift to another. Dito sa direct, sino nga ba yung nagbabayad ng tax? Who bears the burden? So, we have the direct and indirect tax nga. So, sa direct tax, when we say direct, kung sino yung gusto or yung intended ng batas na magbayad ng tax. Siya talaga yung mismo na totoong magbabayad ng tax. Katulad nga ng income tax. Kasi kung sino yung kumita, siya yung magbabayad ng tax na yun. Direct yung effect. So, letter B, the indirect. tax which is demanded from one person in the expectation and intention that he shall indemnify himself at the expense of another, falling finally in upon the ultimate purchaser of consumer, or tax imposed upon goods before they reach the consumer who ultimately pays for it, not as tax but as part of the purchase price. So sa indirect tax, ito yung may power to shift daw. Ipasa yung tax mula sa iyo going to other person. Katulad ng VAT, or which is means value added tax at ilang mga custom tariffs. Example, if the product costs 500 pesos and there's a 10% VAT, the consumer pays 550 pesos to the merchant. The merchant keeps 500 pesos and remits 50 pesos to the government. So, another example ng direct and indirect tax para mas maintindihan nyo. Example, si Mang Juan Jose ay isang empleyado sa isang company at meron siyang isang maliit na sari-sari store sa harap ng kanilang bahay. So, sa direct tax or income tax, kada buwan si Mang Jose ay may regular na salary. Bago niya pa man makuha yung whole salary niya, automatic na kinakaltasan siya ng tax. Example, sweldo niya every month is 30,000. Income tax niya is kinakaltas is 2.5. So, matatanggap niya is 27,500. Si Mang Jose mismo yung direct na nagbabayad ng tax niya sa government. So, sa indirect tax naman, sa kanyang sari-sari store, nagbenta si Mang Jose ng soft drinks, cigarette, at instant noodles. Ang mga product na ito is may kasamang VAT na. So, one day, bumili si Aling Nene ng isang bote ng soft drinks, 50 pesos yon, kasama na yung VAT na 10 pesos. So, ang tax or VAT ay indirect na binabayaran ni Aling Nena sa gobyerno. Pinapasa ito ng tindahan o owner at siya ang magli-limit ng tax into government. Thus, the person who absorbs or bears the burden of the tax is other than the one on whom it is imposed and required by law to pay the tax. Practically all businesses' taxes are indirect. So, example, yung value-added tax, excise taxes on certain specific goods, percentage taxes, custom duties. So, yun nga, yung sabi niya dito, practically all business taxes are indirect. Kasi nga, yung indirect tax is, yung sa products, pag bumili ka ng isang product, di ba may, may kasama na siyang tax. So, yun na yun. Hindi mo siya indirect na binabayaran sa government. Yung owner ang nagbabayad mismo or nagbibigay mismo doon sa government. So, the third one of classification of taxes is as to determination of amount. Letter A is, meron tayong dalawa dyan. Letter A is specific. Tax of a fixed amount imposed by the head or number or by some standard of weight or measurement. It requires no assessment or valuation other than a listing or classification of the objects to be taxed. Example natin yan, taxes on distilled spirits, wines, and fermented liquors, cigars, and cigarette, and others. So, example natin dyan yung distilled spirits. So, as to determination of amount, paano ba daw ito kinukwenta yung tax determination? So, we have the specific and ad valorem. So, first, the specific na. When we say specific, there's a physical unit of measurement, sabi dyan, katulad ng width, length, ng volume, ng area, ng quantity, sa madaling salita, may bilang, nakabase sa dami. So, example dyan is, kunwari, bumili ka ng 100 bottles ng alak. Ayon sa batas, ang excise tax sa alak is 20 pesos kada bote. So, 100 times 20 pesos is 2,000. So, 2,000 yung excise tax mo. So, ang specific tax ay tax na nakabatay sa dami o unit ng product. Kahit tumaas daw or bumaba yung presyo ng alak, 20 pesos pa rin yung tax every bottle. So, when we say excise tax, Ito yung tax collected from goods that are harmful to people's health, such as yung mga alak nga or alcohol beverage, cigarettes, or yung luxury goods like jewel and perfumes. Letter D, ad valorem. Tax of a fixed proportion of the value of the property with respect to which the tax is assessed. It requires the intervention of assessors or appraisers to estimate the value of such property before the amount due from each taxpayer can be determined. The phrase ad valorem means literally according to the value. So, when we say ad valorem, medyo ibang language lang yan. But, ang meaning niyan talaga is based on value. Meaning, hindi siya diretsong specific doon sa unit measurement, but rather doon sa value, yun yung basis. Example, yung lupa, real estate tax. So, let's say, meron kang lupa dito sa probinsya, 100 square meter. At meron ka ding lupa sa Manila na 100 square meter din. The question is, tingin nyo, alin ang mas mahal? Yung value, alin ang mas mataas? So, malamang yung nasa city or Manila kaysa dito sa probinsya. Therefore, kung sakaling magkaroon ng real property tax, sino yung mas malaki ang tax? Parehas lang naman sila na 100 square meter. So, the answer is malamang yung sa Manila kasi nga real property tax hindi naka-base sa sukat or measurement but rather sa value, kaya ang tawag ay ad valorem. Mas mataas yung value, mas mataas yung tax. Kahit sabihin pa natin mas malaki yung sukat ng lupa or unit of measurement nung isa. Hindi naman yun yung basis, but rather yung value, ang determination of amount. So, natural depende yan sa rulings ng BIR. Merong din mga taxes na specific, meron din namang taxes na ad valorem. So, depende kung anong yung subject matter. So, wala namang general rule dito. Kumbaga, ano yung rulings ng yung batas na ibinigay sa atin para kwentahin yung tax. So, example, yung income, naka-base sa ad valorem yan. Kung magkano yung kinita mo, andun yung tax natin. Example dyan yung excise tax on automobiles. Someone with a vehicle na worth of 700,000 pesos less than someone with 1 million pesos car. So, mas mahal, mas malaki, binabayaran or babayaran yung excise tax. Sa real estate tax, then, yun nga, yung sa lupa, homeowner should pay on the assessed value of their house or yung lupa. Sa custom duties, tax collected on imports and some exports by a country's custom authorities. Taxes is yung as to purpose. Meron tayong dalawa. Yung una, general, fiscal, or revenue. Tax imposed for the general purposes of the government to raise revenue for government needs. So, as to purpose, yan yung walang specific na paggagamitan or for purpose yung collection na no specific aim other than to generate funds for government needs. Lahat ng revenue is pagsasamahin lahat into general fund for public use. The point is, nakakollect ang gobyerno ng tax, therefore kung saan nila gustong gamitin yun. General nga kasi, doon nila ilalagay or gagamitin. Usually, karamihan ng mga taxes naman talaga is dito pumapasok. Kasi nga, one of the purpose of tax is to raise a revenue. Yun yung purpose niya. Example, income tax, VAT or value-added tax, estate tax, donor tax, essentially most national taxes. So, the second one is the special or regulatory. Tax imposed for a special purpose to achieve some social or economic ends, irrespective of whether revenue is actually raised or not. Example is yung protective tariff or custom duties designed to shield or protect domestic industries from foreign competition. Yung protective protective tariff. Ito yung mga tax imposed on imported goods to make them more expensive than domestically produced goods, thus encouraging consumers to buy local products and protecting domestic industries. Example is yung sa bag. Kunwari nasa 200 to 250 yung bag natin dito sa Pilipinas. And sa mga Korean bags is nasa 200 to 250 din. So, ang gagawin nila, papatungan pa nila yung tax yung Korean bags. Gagawin nilang mas mahal yung Korean bags nasa 300 plus ganon. So, para hindi lahat Korean bags ang mabibili or bibilhin nila. So, dito, pinoprotektahan nila yung industry natin. Yun yung mga manggagawa natin para hindi sila bumagsak. Para hindi naman bumagsak yung company nila or yung industry natin. Next one is as to scope or authority imposing the tax. Meron din tayong dalawa dyan. First is the national. Tax imposed by the national government. National, ito yung collected by the BIR or yung Bureau of Customs. Example, yung national revenue taxes like income tax, value added tax, sa custom duties, yung mga taxes sa imported or yung exported goods. Sa national taxes imposed by special laws naman is yung excise tax on cigarette or yung mga alak. The second one is the municipal or local. Tax imposed by municipal corporations or local government units. So, ito yung mga tax imposed by municipal corporations or local government unit like yung LGUs. Example, yung real property tax. Real property tax collected by cities or municipalities. Pati yung mga business permit fees, local community tax, or yung CEDULA, amusement tax, and other tax authorities by local government codes. Yung example yung sa LGU, diba? Like ngayon na nasalanta tayo ng bagyo na. So, nagbibigay sila ng mga kunting tulong, relief goods, tulad ng bigas. Yung mga, yung ginamit nila dun sa relief goods is galing din sa atin yun, yung sa tax natin. As one of classification of taxes is as the graduation or rate. Meron tayong tatlo dyan, yung proportional, progressive or graduated, and regressive. So first is proportional, tax based on a fixed percentage of the amount of the property, receipts, or other basis to be taxed. So proportional means that the tax base remains the same. Meaning kung naka-fix na ganun. Therefore, yun na yun, proportional siya, constant siya. So, meaning kapag kahit lumaki or bumaba yung income mo, fixed pa rin yung binabayaran mong tax. So, real estate tax, usually 1% access value dito sa province. Sa value added tax naman, usually 12% siya. Second is yung progressive or graduated tax, the rate of which increases as the tax base or bracket increases. The richer you are, the higher income or property, the higher the tax rate. Yun yung kasabihan nila. Progressive, ito yung medyo nakarelate sa theoretical justice na report nung una, yung sa last topic na basic principle of sound tax system. Nang sabi dun is, nasabi nga, progress as your income increases or the level of income or the tax base increases, diba? Let's say income taxation. Also, the tax rate increases. Nag-increase. Kaya nga progressive. Mas malaki kita mo, mas malaki tax mo, pati rate. Kaya ang tawag sa kanya ay graduated. Meaning in taxation, let's say, yung graduated tax table. Meaning, merong table kang titingnan na at nakalagay dun yung mga ranges na pag malaki ang income, mas malaki yung tax kasi nga graduated na siya or progressive yung tax. Last one is yung regressive. Ito naman kabaliktaran naman ng progressive. Habang lumalaki yung income mo, bumababa yung tax rate mo.
regressive system of taxation. A regressive tax must not be confused with the regressive system of taxation. So, ano nga bang regressive tax? So, when we say regressive tax, ito po isang uri ng tax na kung saan mas mabigat ang epekto nito sa mga mahihirap kaysa sa mga mayayaman, kahit parehas lang sila na binabayadan na taxes. So, yung tinatawag po natin na VAT or Value Added Tax, na kung saan lahat ng mga binibili nating groceries sa ating pang-araw-araw is nagbabayad tayo ng 12% of tax, which is the value added tax. So, gaya po ng presyo ng sardinas, yung presyo ng sardinas na binabayar natin, kasali na dun yung 12% of tax, which is natatawag po natin na value added tax inclusiveness. So, like for example po, si A is mayaman siya, and then sumasahod siya ng 400 a day, and then nagbabayad siya ng 12% of tax sa kanyang pang-araw-araw na bilihin. And then si B naman is mayaman siya, and then sumasahod siya ng 3,000 a day. Pero same lang sila ni A na nagbabayad ng 12% of taxes sa kanilang pang-araw-araw na bilihin. So dito is kahit same lang sila na binabayadan ng taxes, mas mabigat pa rin ito kay A kasi nga mahirap siya, and then maliit lang ang kanyang income. So ito po yung regressive tax. So ano nga ba ang regressive system of taxation? So ito po yung system ng taxes na kung saan mas pinapairal ng government ang mga indirect taxes tulad ng value added tax kaysa sa direct taxes like income tax. So sa ganitong system is mas nahihirapan ng mga mahihirap kasi nga maliit lang ang kanilang income, and then sila yung laging bumibili ng basic needs nila sa pang-araw-araw. In a society where the majority of the people have low incomes, it exists when there are more indirect taxes imposed than direct taxes. Since the low-income sector of impose, the population as a whole buys more consumptions goods on which the direct taxes are collected. The burden of indirect taxes rests more on them than on the more affluent groups. There should be no objections if indirect taxes are raised on luxury items consumed mainly by the higher income groups and reduced on basic commodities consumed by the lower income segments of society. So sabi diyan, kapag ang isang bansa is mas maraming mahihirap kaysa sa mga mayayaman, so dapat ang gawin ng government is maingat sila sa pagpataw ng mga taxes na pinapataw nila. Kasi kung mas maraming indirect taxes, mas mabigat ito para sa mga mahihirap. Studies reveal that the progressive elements of the income and other direct taxes have not sufficiently offsets the regressive effects of the indirect taxes as a whole. So, kahit meron tayong progressive taxes, so when we say progressive taxes, ito po yung kung saan kapag malaki ang sahod mo, malaki din yung tax na babayadan mo. Pero hindi pa rin ito sapat para pantayan ang buong epekto ng indirect taxes like value added taxes. A progressive tax is therefore also different from a progressive system of taxation. So when we say progressive tax, ito po yung kung saan kapag malaki ang kita mo or sahod mo, mas malaki din yung tax na babayaran mo. So like for example po, kapag meron kang business, and then yung business mo is kumikita ka ng kalahating milyon kada sa isang taon. So ngayon is magbabayad ka ng income tax based sa laki ng kinikita mo. Kasi habang lumalaki ang kita mo, lumalaki din yung taxes na babayaran mo. So, ano nga ba ang progressive system of taxation? So, when we say progressive system of taxation, ito po isang pagtatax sa isang sistema ng isang bansa na kung saan mas pinapaboran ang mga mahihirap kaysa sa mga mayayaman. Sa pagkakaroon po ng mas maraming mga direct taxes at progressive taxes kaysa sa indirect taxes at regressive taxes.
Okay, so the next topic that I discussed for today is all about tax distinguished from toll. So ito yung pagkakaiba ng tax and toll. So alam naman natin kung ano yung tax, di ba? Ito yung ito yung kino-collect ng government para makapag-ipon ng public funds. While toll has been defined as a sum of money for the use of something. So yung toll, nagko-collect sila dahil gumagamit tayo ng isang bagay. Generally applied to the consideration which is paid for the use of road, bridge, or the like of a public nature. So generally daw, ina-apply siya for the use of road and bridge. So kaya tayo nagbabayad just because gumagamit tayo or dumadaan tayo sa kanilang road or bridge. For example, yung sa expressway, di ba may nakikita tayong toll doon? Sila yung mga naniningil ng pera kasi nga dumadaan tayo doon sa highway or sa expressway na yon. And number 1, a toll is demand of proprietorship while a tax is a demand of sovereignty. So yung toll is kinokolekta ng isang may-ari ng isang bagay, while a tax is demand of sovereignty. Ibig sabihin yung tax is kapangyarihan ng government para mag-collect ng money sa mga tao. And number 2 is a toll is paid for the use of another's property. So katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, kaya tayo nagbabayad just because nakikigamit tayo or nakikidaan tayo sa kanilang property. While tax is paid for the support of the government. So kaya tayo nagbabayad ng tax is para suportahan yung government na makalikom ng pera for public use. And number 3 is the amount of toll depends upon the cost of construction or maintenance of the public improvement use. So dito naman, nakadepende daw yung sinisigil nila kung magkano yung gastos nila dun sa paggawa nung road na yon, or magkano yung maintenance na ginagastos nila doon sa highway na yon or expressway. While yung tax naman is generally no limit. So ibig sabihin, yung tax walang limit yon. Pwedeng bumaba or pwedeng tumaas yung sinisingil nila. Depende sa pangangailangan ng government. And number 4, a toll may be imposed by the government or private individuals or entities. So yung toll daw is pwedeng i-collect ng government or private company, or depende kung sino yung gumawa nun or may-ari nung property. While a tax may be imposed only by the government. So yung tax naman is ang pwede lang mag-collect nun is only government. So the view has been expressed, however, that the taking of tolls is only the method of taxing the public for the cost of the construction and repair of the improvements for the use which the toll is charged. So ayun nga another method, yung toll another method lang siya ng tax, hindi siya kasama sa tax. Because yung toll kasi is kaya tayo nagbabayad kasi ginagamit natin yung isang bagay na pagmamay-ari ng government or private company.
Tax distinguished from penalty. Penalty is any sanction imposed as a punishment for violation of law or acts deemed injurious. Thus, the violation of tax laws may give rise to imposition of penalty. A penalty is designed to regulate conduct, while a tax is generally intended to raise revenue. Penalty. Ito ay parusa na ipinapataw sa isang tao kapag siya ay lumabag sa batas or alituntunin para magdisiplina at maiwasan ang paglabag sa mga batas. For example na lang is yung pagmumulta ng 1,000 pesos sa mga riders pag hindi sila nagsuot ng helmet. Or pagkakakulong dahil sa pagnanakaw, pagpatay, or ibang krimen na nagawa ng isang tao. Pag-tax naman ay obligadong bayadan sa gobyerno ng bawat mamamayan o negosyo bilang bahagi ng kita, negosyo o pagbili ng produkto para makalikom ng pondo ang pamahalaan para sa mga serbisyo tulad ng edukasyon, kalsada, ospital at iba pa. Ang example ng tax naman ay income tax mula sa sahod ng empleyado, value-added tax naman kapag bumili ng produkto, and real property tax naman para sa mga lupa or bahay. So, sino ang pwedeng mag-impose or magpataw ng parusa? A penalty may be imposed by the government or private individuals or entities, while a tax may be imposed only by the government. So, penalty. Maaaring government or private individual or company ang pwedeng mag-implement ito. For example na lang is employers or business owners, pwede na lang suspendin ang kanilang mga tauhan if may nagawa silang mali sa kanilang mga trabaho. Sa tax naman ay government lang ang pwedeng mag-implement ito. For example na lang is yung value-added tax nga sa mga products.
Tax distinguished from special assessment. Special assessment is an enforced proportional contribution from owners of lands, especially or particularly benefited by public improvements. Under the Local Government Code, Republic Act No. 7160, a province, city, or municipality of the national government may impose a special levy on lands, especially benefited by public works or improvements finance. So, ang special assessment is isa siyang sapilitang ambag o bayad na ini-impose sa mga may-ari ng lupa. Pero hindi sa lahat ng lupa, kundi sa mga lupang direktang nakinabang sa proyektong ng gobyerno. Halimbawa na lang kung nagpagawa ng bagong kalsada drainage sa tapat ng lupa mo, ikaw ang magbabayad kasi ikaw ang nakinabang. So, ayon sa Local Government Code or Republic Act 7160, pwedeng mangolekta ng ganitong klase ng charge ang city or munisipyo or probinsya o the national government. So, next is, a tax can be distinguished from a special assessment by considering the characteristic of the latter, namely. Ngayon, paano naman naiiba ang special assessment sa tax o buwis? So, first is, a special assessment is levied only on land. So, ang special assessment, sa lupa lang ito ina-impose. Hindi tulad ng income tax or business tax na nasa kita mo o negosyo mo kinukuha. So, second is, it is not a personal liability of the person assessed. Like, for example, his liability is limited only to the land involved. So, hindi ito personal na utang. Ibig sabihin, kung may utang sa special assessment ang lupa, hindi ang tao ang may obligasyon, kundi ang property mismo. So, kung ibebenta mo yung lupa, yung bagong may-ari ang kailangan magbayad. So, third is, it is based wholly on benefits, not necessity. So, ang bayad sa special assessment ay nakabase sa benefits. Hindi dahil kailangan ng gobyerno ng pondo. Ibig sabihin, kung walang pakinabang sa lupa mo, hindi ka sisingilin. And lastly, it is exceptional both as to the time and place. A tax, on the other hand, has general application. So, ito ay hindi palagi yan. Kaya tinawag na special kasi may specific na time at lugar lang kung kailan ito ini-impose. Hindi gaya ng regular taxes na taon-taon para sa lahat. So, a charge imposed only on property owners benefited is a special assessment rather than a tax, notwithstanding that the statute cause of its tax. The rule is that an exemption from taxation does not include exemption from a special assessment, but the power to the tax carries with it the power to levy a special assessment. So, kapag ang bayad ay para lang sa mga property owners na nakinabang, ang tawag dyan ay special assessment. Kahit tawagin pa ng batas na tax, iba pa rin ito sa regular tax. And take note, kung exempted ka sa tax, hindi ibig sabihin exempted ka na rin sa special assessment. Magkaibang bagay sila. Pero, kung may kapangyarihan ka mangolekta ng buwis, pwede ka rin mag-impose o magpato ng special assessment kung may sapat na dahilan. Note, the term special levy is the name used in the former real property tax code in the present local government. So, yung special levy, ito yung tinatawag natin na special assessment na ginamit ito noon, name used in the former real property tax code, and ngayon gamit pa rin na local government code. So, in short, a special assessment ay bayad na para sa specific na improvement sa mga lupang nakinabang. Hindi sa lahat at hindi rin ito personal utang. Iba sa buwis, pero pareho silang legal at may kapangyarihang ipatupad ng gobyerno.
Tax distinguished from license or permit fee. License or permit fee is a charge imposed under the police power for purposes of regulations. License is rather in the nature of special privilege of permissions of authority to do what is within its term. It makes lawful an acts which would otherwise be unlawful. A license granted by the state is always revocable. So, ang license or permit fee is same lang yan na binabayaran sa government. Pero magkiba ang kanilang purpose at gawain. So, number 1, license fee is the legal compensations or reward of an officers for specific services. While tax is an enforced contributions assessed by the sovereign authority to defray public expenses. So, ang license o permit fee is bayad sa serbisyo na ginagawa ng officials, gaya ng pag-inspect or pagbibigay ng pahintulot. Samantalang ang tax is isang sapilitang contribution na kinokolekta ng government para punduan ang mga needs ng ating bayan. Like for example po, sa pagbabudget po para sa paggawa ng daan, and para po sa mga schools. So number 2, it is imposed for regulations while a tax is levied for revenue. So sabi dyan is ang purpose ng license or permit fee is for regulations, para makontrol and then masiguradong sumusunod sa batas ang isang negosyo. So like for example po, ang permit ng isang karinderya ay para matiyak na malinis and then ligtas ang kanilang pagkain. So, ang tax naman, ang purpose ng tax is para makalikom ng pondo para sa mga project at serbisyo ng ating government. So, number 3, it involves an exercise of police power, while a tax involves the exercise of the taxing power. So, ang permit fee ay hindi buwis or tax. Ito is bayad para makontrol and then mabantayan ng government ang negosyo, kaya ang tawag dito is police power. So like for example, kapag isang karindera is nagbayad ng mayor's permit, so ang purpose nun is para masiguradong malinis and then ligtas at sumusunod sila sa health rules. So ito po, which is ang tawag po dito is police power. Pero kapag ang tax is ginagamit para kumita ang government, ito naman po ay tinatawag po nating taxing power. So like for example po, kapag nagbayad ka ng income tax sa BIR, ito ay para sa pondo ng government. Ito po ay tinatawag po natin na taxing power. So, number 4, its amount should be limited to the necessary expenses of inspections and regulations, while there is generally no limit on the amount of tax that may be imposed. So, sabi dyan is, ang license o permit fee is dapat limited lang ang gastos ng inspections or regulations. So, like, for example po, kung ang barangay is naniningil ng worth 500 pesos para sa business permit, ito is dapat sapat lang para sa gastos ng inspection. Habang ang tax naman is walang specific na limitations. Basta ito is naayon sa batas. So like for example po, tulad ng 12% of value added tax, pwedeng baguhin ng government depende sa kanilang panukala. So, number 5, it is imposed on the right to exercise a privilege, while a tax is imposed also on persons and property. So, ang license or permit fee is ipinapataw sa karapatang magsagawa ng negosyo or task. So, like for example po, ngayon is kailangan mo ng permit fee para magbenta sa palengke. Ito po ay isang license fee. Habang ang tax is ipinapataw sa tao, negosyo or ari-arian. So like for example po, kung may lupa ka, kailangan mong magbayad ng amilyar. When we say amilyar tax, ito po yung taon-taon natin na binabayadan sa municipal hall. Ito po ay isang uri ng tax. Number 6, failure to pay a license fee makes the act or business illegal, while failure to pay a tax does not necessarily make the act or business illegal. So, kung hindi ka nagbayad ng license fee, illegal lang yung negosyo. So like for example, kung walang mayor's permit ang karinderya mo, pwedeng ipasara ito. So sa tax naman, kung hindi ka nagbayad ng tax, may penalty or kaso ka, pero hindi agad illegal ang negosyo mo. So like for example, pero kung late kang magbayad ng tax, ang may-ari pwede siyang multahan or kasuhan, pero tuloy pa rin ang negosyo pansamantala.